What's up guys, this is Steph, and in this video I'm going to tell you all you need to know about Andrew Tate's arrest. And by the way, this comes from my perspective as a Romanian lawyer. And if you stick to the end of this video, I'm also going to present to you my prediction in regards to what's going to happen next. Let's get right into it. So 2 days ago, on December 29th, Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan, alongside 2 Romanian women, have been arrested in Romania, and they are facing charges related to rape, human trafficking, and the establishment of an organized criminal group. Now, the investigation on this case dates back to April 2020. When, if you remember, after the Romanian police raided their house because of a complaint that was made against them by a US citizen. Long story short, it seems like Tristan, Andrew's brother, flew over to their house in Romania, a US woman, and one of her relatives contacted the US embassy and complained about this woman being retained against her will at the Tate's brother's house. So after the police raid happened, they've been released in a few hours because they simply didn't have enough evidence against them. But that's really when this whole investigation started. Now, coming back to the present moment, 8 months later, once they arrived in Romania a few days ago, they've been tracked down by the Romanian police and they've been arrested for 24 hours. Yesterday, so 1 day later, on December 13th, they've been presented in front of the judge, and the prosecutor proposed, based on the evidence that he gathered, to detain the suspects for 30 days. His request was accepted by the judge, and now Andrew Tate, his brother Tristan, and 1 Romanian woman, because the other one has been set free, are being under arrest for 30 days. Now, I'm going to break down some of the specifics of this case so you get a better understanding of what's actually happening. Number 1, the prosecutor that is leading the case is actually a chief prosecutor, and he's very well known in Romania for leading some of the biggest and most famous cases against anti-mafia. For example, he's very well known for arresting the biggest drug lord in Romania, and he's also the one behind the collective tragedy, which, for those of you that don't know, it's about a nightclub that burned down, which unfortunately led to 64 deaths and over 180 people being injured. Now, he's also known for being one of the toughest prosecutors in Romania, and because of his past experience and because he received during his career a lot of death threats, he has 24/7 security assured by the special forces, which, to be honest, tells me that he's going to go all in on this case and he really has nothing to lose. Now, in my opinion, being that he's very experienced, he would have never arrested them in the first place if he didn't have enough evidence to support the case. Number 2, the fact that Tate brothers have been arrested for 30 days does not mean that they are guilty. In fact, they are innocent until proven guilty. Now, you might ask yourself, if they are not guilty, then why did the judge decide to keep them under arrest for an extra 30 days? Well, I could tell you that there are 2 main reasons behind it. The first reason is that so they don't escape the country, because as you already know, they have like 10 passports and different citizenship in different countries, and that could become a problem, because if they get into a country where there's no legal treaty between Romania and that country in terms of extraditing people, then obviously that could affect the investigations. Now, the second reason is that so they don't interfere with the investigations itself. Here's what I mean by that. In the next 30 days, the prosecutor is going to gather further evidence against them, and he's mainly going to do it by questioning the witnesses in this case. Now, if Tate brothers were free, then they could talk with the people involved in this case, including witnesses, and they could influence their statements, which will ultimately affect the course of the investigation. So that's why this security measure of 30 days under arrest was accepted by the judge. Number 3, there was never a bail option, and if they are found guilty, they can face up to 10 to 20 years in prison. Now, a lot of people expected for them to get out on bail because they have money, but that's not how the legal system works in Romania. You know, the law states very clearly that in case you are facing charges for crimes that have intention behind them, then unfortunately the bail is not an option for you. Now, all the charges that they are facing are considered to have intention behind them, and to give you an example of a crime that does not have intention behind it and where bail could be an option, will be bribery, or when you kill somebody in a car accident by mistake. Now, in terms of the prison time, for both rape and human trafficking, the punishment is between 5 to 10 years. Now, for the third one, which is the establishment of an organized criminal group, if found guilty, of course, the prison time it's anywhere between 1 to 5 years. Now, it's worth mentioning that during this trial, some of the charges can drop, and in the end, they can be found guilty of only 1 crime or none at all. Number 4, this trial can go on for 1 to 3 years, but this does not mean that they're going to stay under arrest for so long. They're most likely going to be set free in Q1 2023, and the trial is going to continue with them in freedom. It's also worth mentioning that if the girl that accused them of rape will withdraw her complaint, then the charges for rape will drop as well. Now, let's discuss what could happen next and what's my prediction on that. Just to do a quick recap, we know that Tate brothers have been arrested for 24 hours on 29th December. 1 day later, they've been presented in front of the judge, and the judge decided to retain them for an extra 30 days. Now, you should know that this decision is not final, and their lawyers already appealed the decision. Now, my prediction, and what's the most likely outcome, is that their appeal is going to be denied, and the Tate brothers are going to stay under arrest for this 30 days period.